Hey everybody, welcome to the studio. Here we are once again, and we are back with another clip for Nicholson Voice on this lovely Sunday, January 5th. We are 5 days into 2025 already. How's things going anyway? Are you having a good year so far? It's too early to tell, but there's a lot of good things happening in 2025. Looking forward to some new adventures and whatnot. I've got this little podcast thing going, which seems to be well received. And I do appreciate you guys, and, I appreciate you listening. These are pretty fun to do, as a matter of fact. And this little podcast today, what I thought I would do is talk about voiceover, because that's what I've been kind of putting out there a little bit lately. And I had a friend of mine ask me the other day. He's a peer in radio, and he said, "Hey, Mark, what's the best mic for voiceover?" And it's the same thing as asking, what's the best tire for winter? There's so many choices out there. There's a lot of different things that factor in. The build quality, there's budgets, there's different levels of microphones. You can spend anywhere between $100 to $3,000 or $5,000, whatever you want to do. But what I did say is that more importantly than your microphone should be your room, your recording space. Invest in a space that is well treated. Here in my studio, I've got some moving blankets up on the walls. I went over to Canadian Tire, bought these moving blankets, took them over to Curry's Ace Hardware, got them to put grommets in it, and then I installed some curtain rods, and I just hung them up here in the room on the walls, so that knocked down the reflections big time. And then my brother, he gave me some of these sound panels, so I decided to put them up just to help out that much further. I built some sound panels of my own. I have them in front of me right now. You can't see them. They're off camera, but they have deadened down the room. Now, it's not perfect. It's not soundproof, but it's sound treated. And I can get some pretty good audio in here where it's not sounding like it's reflecting all over the room. Now, with microphones, there's a few different choices. You got to have some gear to get yourself going. You need a microphone, you need an interface, and you need a room and a computer. That's basically it. And then some work. That comes in time. What I have done is I've picked up a couple of different condenser microphones, which I'm using right now, because they're more detailed. They pick up more detail in your voice. They can work a little bit against you depending on your type of voice and whatnot. If you got a very wet sort of sounding voice, it's going to pick up all the mouth clicks, that sort of thing. It'll pick up pins dropping on the floor. I mean, they are very sensitive, right? Whereas, say, something like these big RE20s that we use at the radio station, and I use it here in my studio. These are less sensitive to a lot of that stuff, and noise and clicks and things like that, proximity effect and whatnot. But really, it doesn't cost a whole lot of money to get yourself going if you want to look into this thing. A microphone, like I use the little Stellar, it's a TZ Electronics Stellar X2, and you can get them on Amazon for like $250 or something like that. You can go to your local music store and ask them what they can get for condensers. Like, for example, a lot of stores can get this, the Audio-Technica AT2020. This is a good little mic. It's like $139 or $149 or something like that. A good mic. Randy Ross recommended these to me. I've got two of these. I've got two of the Stellars. When I bought my Stellars, it's when they first come out, and I got them, before they went up in price. So this one here was like $169, and then I got one on Amazon this Christmas. I was scrolling, and they had them on for like $88. No shit. So I got into these microphones pretty cheap, and they sound fantastic. I've done some jobs with this particular microphone, and they have more than paid for themselves. And they come with a shock mount. They come with a little clown nose if you want that. They got a case that you can keep them in and stuff. Quite cool. Quite cool. Again, that's just a little bit of a chat. Now, with the microphones, don't spend a lot of money. Don't go out and spend, $600, $700, $800 on a mic. If you've got a shitty room, that microphone's going to sound pretty shitty, regardless of how much money you spend. So get that room. You could even record in a clothing closet. That's where a lot of people do, like, spread the clothes apart a little bit, get in there, and it keeps your voice from bouncing around the room. That's what you want. I mentioned an interface. You're going to need one of those. Pardon me, I got to wet my whistle here. 7-Up. Do you remember that old commercial? Don't you feel good about 7-Up? You got to have an interface. This is a Mackie Onyx interface. I've got a PreSonus Audio i2, AudioBox i2 or something it's called. These are pretty cool. I mean, they're not expensive, and they sound good. They got good little XLR preamps in here, lots of gain to run the microphones. Now, some microphones like the RE20, the RE320, the Shure SM7B, I have all three of those mics in my closet here, and they all require a lot of gain. But for my interface, my go-to interface right now, and you can't see it, it's off camera, is the Rodecaster Duo. That's what I'm using to do all these podcasts with. This here is great for a musician, broadcaster, voiceover, anything like that. This is all you need to feed your computer. All right, there's some outputs on there. This is a USB-C output for the computer. And then you got a couple of outputs like for your monitors. You want to be able to play back, and this works as a sound card. All right, pretty cool. And then your computer, like, you don't need anything crazy because a lot of the new DAW or the new interfaces come with a DAW. As long as your computer is, relatively new, it should be able to work that DAW. Now, the DAW is the workstation. That's where you do all the recording, and you capture the recording, you edit, you cut it, you slice it, you move it, you dice it, and add spice to it, and then produce all kinds of stuff and have a lot of fun. It's super cool. So yeah, that's basically it, I think. Just practice. Read some scripts. What I recommend is listening to some commercials that are on YouTube and then transcribing them, and then just maybe voice those over and see how you do with them. Put your spin on them and see how that goes. That's kind of fun to do. That's how I do it. And there are websites online where you can get some practice scripts. I've done a lot of those as well. And I've had the opportunity in my job to read a pile of scripts. And you get to develop a style. And then it depends on the script that you're doing and the voice. And there's lots of things that you can do. I'm not a professional by any means, nor do I pretend to be. But it's a passion of mine. It's a job. And I enjoy it very, very much. So that's a little bit it. Let's wrap things up right here, shall we? It's enough yapping for now. Oh, by the way, I've got a very special guest joining me in studio. We're going to record on Monday, January 6th. And once I get everything produced and, ready for air, I'll share it with you. So stay tuned. It's going to be a really cool episode about the local scene. There's a hint on who I'm going to be speaking with. Have a great day. Thank you so much. We'll catch you next time right here on Nicholson Voice.